Okay, Sitrep. There's a lot going on here right now, and I need to lay it all out in my head. Penelope and I are here to kill all the Nora, or failing that, retrieve Remus's sword. The Nora here think that we are also Nora, but they're mostly wrong. Remus is the ringleader of this whole thing. He and his controlling slime are both bonkers strong, and I doubt my soul nab will work on them, even post-hatching. We need to get Penelope to infect him, or I need to poison him. Both of those things are a pain in the ass, though, because Theodora is a metamancer. If I recall right, that's magic about magic, or something? It probably means she can detect the flow of mana really well, and she'll notice if I pour from the Everfull or if Penelope activates her talent. She's slimed, and like Remus I'm not sure if I can just yoink her back to humanity. The tattooed lady is strong. Song, meanwhile, is a poison expert, which is another nail in the coffin of using the Everfull. Their soul is humongo, but the slime in them is young and weak. I can probably just kill their slime with a soul grab, but I have no idea how their human song will behave afterwards. If they start acting suspicious when I free them, it could be bad. Talene is a former hunter-scout, like me. I don't know exactly how her power works, and to be safe we should probably find out before I start murdering anybody. Her slime is pretty strong, but not quite Remus's level. I might be able to just soul yank her. The real wild card is the boy, Melik. He doesn't have a Nora, but his mom does and seems to think he does too. Does he have a talent like mine? Did he figure things out and dodge them somehow? Did he get lucky and eat a poison mushroom by accident? I need to know why he is free and if we can use him to our advantage here. Finally, there's, well, all the rest of the villagers. Over a dozen weak randos are also slimed around Lytia village. I figure we save them for last, though. I can probably just walk past them and thresh the slime souls with a tentacle. A simple sweep of the island and we should be clean. What do you think, Vita? Remus asks, snapping me out of my thoughts. Oh yeah, I should be paying attention to this strategy meeting. Oh, sorry, I kinda got distracted, I admit sheepishly, scratching the back of my head. You need to be paying attention, Remus insists, sending a stern look my way. You're the linchpin of this operation. If Penelope was successful in destroying the Burrowhound colony, our brethren would have had to flee out of the tunnels before locating a new host. If you can find those exits, they will be the best spots to start looking. I nod, pretending to think while I get in character. I can't guarantee that, Pops. I sense living things and relative strength. If there are new monsters that moved into the tunnels, I'll be able to feel those. If not, I can't see underground any better than you can. That's what I thought, he agrees, nodding. So we'll have to rely on you, Talene, even with your lower range. Oh, perfect. Sorry, what all can Talene do, again? Ha, I'm kind of a weird one, Talene laughs cheerfully. My only talent is to pull things towards me. I can vaguely feel whatever I'm pulling on, though, so I use it to scout by imperceptibly tugging on everything around me. Took me a few years to get a handle on it, but now it's second nature to me. It took her host a few years, she means. She, as in the person actually talking, is probably only a few days old. How detailed is it? I ask. Pretty detailed, now that I'm used to it. It's almost like a full picture of my surroundings. It doesn't go through objects like yours does, but we can use it to find burrow holes that are nearby. Perfect. If I keep a wall between me and her, then, I shouldn't have a problem on that front. Sounds handy. I say. Go Team Double Scout. She gives me an odd look for a second, then smiles back. Go Team Double Scout. Remus chuckles. His slime just seems so goddamn happy with all his kin around. It kind of hurts to have to kill him. Penta lightly squeezes my spine. Yeah, there's no way she doesn't feel even worse than I do. I almost give her a light pat with a tendril before remembering she doesn't like that. Someday, I will find someone that I can soul snuggle. During the rest of the meeting we cover our strategy for tackling the forest, though I don't pay a ton of attention since I have no actual intention of participating in that mission. Remus wants to leave tomorrow, but Penelope and I managed to negotiate him down to a few days from now to keep him in the village long enough to give us Gladra's full-time limit. He doesn't like it, but a lot of the others agree with our points, Penelope presses the idea that we need to practice working as a team for a bit rather than rush off after just meeting each other, and the argument sticks. I know you're strong, Remus, and I know the others need rescuing, Penelope affirms. They're not going to die in the next couple of days, though, and if we're not careful in the forest, we might. You know better than anyone that there are things you can't fight out there. No matter how unlikely we are to run into them back where we found the burrow hounds, risking it out of impatience is stupid. The meeting ends soon after he relents. I want to grab Malik and take him somewhere private to figure out his deal, but the kid's mom grabs me first. Let's chat at my place, Talene insists. Scout to scout. I can't help it. I glance at Penelope. She meets my gaze and shrugs lightly. May as well. Yeah, that makes sense. Getting them alone is more or less what we wanted, and while I don't know if freeing Talene immediately is a wise plan yet, it would be a good to get her comfy with me. Lead the way. I answer cheerfully. I'd love to hear some professional tips. Pops is more of a school of hard knocks kinda guy. She snorts, grinning a little. That he is. The wooden houses are interesting, and I'm surprised at how sturdy and clean Talene's is when we get there. Wood housing is almost invariably shitty in Skyhope, but I guess there's no reason that has to be the case. Something about stone being a status symbol, I think? I don't know shit about houses, I live in a shack. Well, lived, I guess. I suppose I don't live there anymore, but it's still my home. You have a very nice house, I tell her seriously. She laughs. Well, thank you. I built it myself. I tilt my head. Not my host built it herself. She shrugs. Same difference. Now, I wanted to ask you about your talent. You can really see Nora in people? More or less, yeah, I confirm again. It's not really seeing, but that's basically right. Of course, she answers, nodding. So, how many of us are there here? I do a quick count, mentally adding one extra for Penelope and Malik each. 33, I think, I answer. Unless there's more out deeper in the fields than I can feel from here. And you sense 2 in me, she presses. This is getting weird. Didn't I just say that in the meeting? Yep, I confirm. 2 in you. And 1 in my son, she continues. I smile my best con woman smile. Yep. She gives me an odd look, and I start to worry that I fucked up. She's the one that introduced her son as slimed. Wait. Was that a ruse? But why would she bring her human son to the strategy meeting if she knew? You're covering for him, Talene says. Why? You don't even know us. I blink. So she does know? Why is she? So you're lying to Remus about him? Penta asks, suddenly asserting control. My tendrils shiver at the sudden takeover, though it's much easier to detach myself from the need to control my body when I have something else to move instead. I almost chastise Penta for yanking my body away again, but I suppose we did agree to share more. I am, yes, Talene admits. I can't let someone else control him. You're not going to tell anyone, right? Her question wasn't asked out of fear, but as a warning. I won't have to stop you from telling him, right? In a normal situation it might be threatening. The short, stocky woman is more than a match for Penta and I in soul strength, though at this distance I could probably kill a slime without trouble. Thankfully, there's no need for that yet. I'm just surprised, and a little disturbed. I won't, Penta confirms. But why? Won't he tell someone? She shakes her head. He won't. He's a good boy. Even if he wasn't, there's no way I can let Nora into him. He's my son. Penta moves my lips into a frown. I see. Your host loves him very much, so you also do. Exactly. Yes. You understand. I could never let someone replace him. I had to tell him about us. I had to keep him safe. Penta chews on that for a while as I watch with interest. So, how does he feel about you possessing his mother? She swallows. He doesn't know. Penta raises an eyebrow. I lied to him, Talene continues. I said that I used my power to pull the Nora away from my neck. I make it known that I want control of the body back, and Penta reluctantly relents. Would you say that your host is a good liar? I ask bluntly. When she has to be, yes. Why? Good enough for me. As interesting as it is for her to have mercy on her son, She's in our way. I reach a hand out, moving my soul down the arm in order to extend the range of my tendrils far enough to reach into the woman's body. At least until Penta seizes control of my arm, dropping it and taking a step back.
Excuse me? I think at her.
Do you think there's any chance that you and your host can work together?
Penta asks quickly.
You know you're torturing her in there, right?
Melik loves her, not you, and you're torturing her.
If you love him back,
you should. I can't,
Vita, Talene's slime says. She'll kill me.
You know that.
That's what hosts do.
Can I kill her now?
I grumpily press. Don't you think we could find a better way?
Penta begs us both.
If we just had more time? If we could just get people to cooperate? We don't have time, and most people don't cooperate unless you make them anyway. No amount of time is going to make my host like me.
What are you on about?
Penta takes another step backwards. I glare at her from within.
You can't wimp out about our mission now, Penta. We're not going to have a better opportunity. Give me control.
Why me and not her?
Penta whispers, so quietly even I barely hear.
You know why.
Now give me control, you're making us look suspicious again.
But, give me control.
Penta hesitates, and to my surprise, disobeys. I glower internally, firmly resisting the urge to end her. She wouldn't outright fuck us over.
I'll see where she's going with this.
How about this, Penta says quickly. You help me with something, Talene, and I'll be sure to keep the secret about your son. The woman frowns, but nods. Anything for Melik. What do you need? Well, in the absence of a better option for coexistence, I at least want to celebrate what we've built here, Penta improvises desperately. I want help making a feast for everyone. Eat some good food, have a toast. That kind of thing. In honor of family. Oh.
She's setting up an opportunity to poison everyone.
Well, okay, go Penta. Talene laughs. Ah,
is that it?
You're a good kid.
That sounds great.
And here I thought I was about to get blackmailed out the ass. Penta smiles the pleasant smile she no doubt learned from Penelope. I don't know much about preparing food or any of that, I'm afraid. I had the idea, but I'll be foisting almost all the work on you.
The stocky older woman flexes an impressive bicep.
Leave it to me, little lady.
I'll whip up the best damn feast you've ever seen.
Well, as Penta walks us out of the house, I have to admit that she got us both what we wanted. The mom slime lives another day, so that we can better kill them all at once. It's better to get the mom slime to participate in our plan for us, as there's less risk of accidental discovery. The woman trapped inside is probably living in constant horror, but, well, I don't know her. I'm not going to go out of my way to release her early when it worsens our chances. It would be one thing if she was dying or likely to suffer some permanent harm, but another day of torture on top of those she's already had probably won't make a big difference.
Vita, you do realize that mental trauma is potentially permanent harm, right?
Fuck,
Penta, do you want me to kill her or not?
Of course not.
She hisses.
I don't want the humans to suffer and I don't want the Nora to die.
Why is that so hard to understand?
It's easy to understand. We just don't have any way to accomplish it. She's a slime that loves a human. There has to be something there.
Maybe,
but if we waste time looking for it, things will get way worse.
Look, I know this doesn't sit well with you, but I really can't have you fucking up the operation. You realize that we'll just get everyone here killed, plus us? I figure that if they die around me I can at least maybe make them revenants later.
My face frowns.
You're not just going to eat them?
Penta asks.
I mean, I want to eat the big ones,
but we'll see. We can work something out.
Now give me my body back before Penelope sees us and makes you explode.
And don't try this shit with Song.
The poison expert being on our side is non-negotiable and you know that. She detaches from my spine completely,
perhaps to think without my mind getting in the way. Fine by me. The person I need alone next is definitely Song. I feel where they are and start heading their way. Annoyingly, however, I'm cut off by someone else first.
Hey, Melik says,
the young boy looking down from nearly a foot over my height.
Vita, right? Can we talk?
I sigh.
Sure.
What do you need? I was wondering. He mumbles sheepishly, scratching the back of his head.
Can I see your artifact? My artifact? As in, the ever full with all the Nora poison that would definitely make Remus think something is up and fuck over everything? As in the artifact I've made absolutely sure to never once take out or use since I've gotten here? Let's make sure our chat is private, I answer, smiling as broadly as I can. I grab Melik and drag him somewhere I'm confident no one can overhear, turning on him before he can have a chance to talk. Alright, kid, 3 things. 1. I know you're not a Nora. 2. If you plan to stay that way, you're not going to tell anyone about my artifact. And 3. How the fuck do you know I even have an artifact? I've been hiding it since before we got here. Don't call me kid, he scowls. You're younger than I am. My eyelid twitches, but I refrain from any other reaction. Answer the question. It's my talent, he says, scowling. I can sorta feel where metal stuff is if it's nearby. My eyebrows raise. Whoa. Don't look so grumpy. Metal detection is kind of an awesome power? He shrugs. Sure, if I want to be used to detect metal my whole life. Which I definitely don't. So you're not going to infect me, huh? Not if you behave, I promise. I'm not sure if telling him our plan is a good idea yet. We stare at each other for a while. Melik has the same stocky build as his mother but with a lot more height to it. The kid, yes, I'm going to keep calling him that, is muscular and clearly well fed, his skin heavily tanned from outdoor work. All of this irritates me to no end. Even after a few months of proper meals and constant workouts, I'm skinny as a rail. Plus, I have to wear a hooded cloak or my pale ass just gets sunburnt. And, of course, as a probably a 15-year-old. He looks older than me. Unforgivable. It's kind of weird talking to a parasitic monster, he comments after a while. I snort. You get used to it. So are you going to play nice or not? I'm happy to leave you and your mom alone, it's really not important to me. That empty face he wore at the meeting earlier returns. Penta also reattaches to my spine, having presumably finished her sulk session. It takes her no time at all to catch up on the conversation, though she lets me continue for now. I'll play nice, Melik says. Cool, I confirm. Then you work for me now. So, the other slimy folk don't have any artifacts of their own, do they? Your friend does. The, arrogant noble lady? Yeah, that's Penelope. I know she does. Anyone else? Theodora has some metal on her. I don't know what it's enchanted to do, though. I nod, thinking about all that. Alright, well. Thanks, Melik. Remember, you can't tell anyone I have an artifact. Not even your mum. I turn to walk away, but he calls out to me first. Wait. Why are you covering for me? Should I tell him? Penta nods my head imperceptibly. Really? You think it's a good idea? Another nod. I chew on the thought. Yeah, he might actively work against me otherwise, thinking I'm on their side. That's a bigger risk than the fact that he might be a bad actor. If he gets found out and slimed, well, I'll just have to be there to make sure the slime dies before it can give away secrets. Because I'm not actually a Nora, I hiss quietly at him. I'm here to wipe them out and free everybody. He stares at me in surprise for a moment, hope slowly dawning. Mom and I will help, he insists. No. You absolutely can't tell your mum. Why not? She's strong. If you have a plan, she can. She's one of them, I tell him bluntly. His face falls, but it looks more like despair than surprise. But, Nora copy their host's memories, I press on. Trust me. Even if she's acting exactly the same, that's normal for them. You're free because that slime ended up copying your mom's love for you, and she can't bear to replace you with someone else. Lucky you. But she is a Nora right now and I need you not fucking around with my business if I'm going to free her. Got it? He nods, blank-faced. Okay, so here's the deal. I can save pretty much everyone except Remus and that Theodora lady by myself. The artifact has a poison in it that can kill their slimes without killing them, but to use it. You want to save Song first? He finishes. Yeah, exactly, I nod. You know them, right? Like the real them? Can they keep pretending to be a slime while we set everything up, or are they just going to be a liability? Song is smart, Melik promises. Are you really serious though? This isn't some Weird slime ruse? I snort with amusement. Not this time. You can come if you want, just don't act suspicious. Hopefully, the not acting suspicious bit would be upheld by both of my tag-along. I head towards Song's place. No time like the present. I have the recommendation of a 15-year-old, which, okay, maybe a bit shaky, but in the absolute worst case I can let Penta control Song for a while. Besides, one way or another, I need that slime dead. Remus intercepts us on our way to Song's house, which I expected. That's where he had just left from, after all. He smiles as broadly as he can at Melik and I, waving as he approaches. Only half of his face can move thanks to his burn scar, but boy is that half looking happy. Hey, you two. Getting along, I see? Yes, Uncle Remus, Melik lies. Vita is telling me about the city, and I'm telling her about the village. Wait, is he your uncle? I posit, changing the subject since I don't actually know anything about the village and wouldn't be able to bluff that if it came up. I thought he was your granddad. Hold on, am I your aunt? Melik laughs, faking it better than I expected he would. No, that's just what I've always called him. Since he and my mum used to be on the same team, he's always been like family. Now it's just more official, Remus agrees, clapping a hand on each of our shoulders. You two let me know if you need anything, alright? Yup. Sure will, Mr. Person I plan to murder. I smile back at him, Penta assisting subtly in crafting the fake expression. She's way better at that when she tries, huh? You got it, Pops. I say aloud, saluting cheerfully. He snorts with amusement, heading past us with that wholehearted half-grin still firmly on his face. I keep my inner eye on him as he goes, trying not to drool over that huge soul the slime has. It will be mine soon, either as a revenant or as food. I can't wait. We continue on, and I spot Penelope chatting with the Metamancer woman, Theodora, out of the corner of my eye. I nod at her and Penelope waves back, shooting me the kind of smile I've only seen her make when Penta was controlling her. I suppose I've never seen the real Penelope make a face like that before. Even now, it's obvious to me that she's faking it. But I doubt it would be to anyone who doesn't know her. Melik and I make it to Song's door and knock. They answer shortly afterwards, looking up at him before glancing down at me. Hey, you two. What can I help you with? Mind if we come inside? I ask innocently. I suppose not, the slime says with a shrug, stepping back to let us in. Melik walks in first, and I follow, closing the door afterwards. I got to admit, I don't know how to address ya, Vita. My host is a lot older than ya, but ya personally was split much before I was. Oh, I wouldn't worry about it. I say cheerfully, walking closer and plunging 3 tendrils into their body. They only have a split second to move before I wrap their soul in death and pull. They waste it, and I tear the fresh morsel of life out from the slimy body hidden in their neck. Gleefully, I caress my prize, storing it safely in my torso as I rub it like a beloved pet. I haven't had a fresh, complete soul in so long. It's a bit small for a good snack, though, and I promised Penta to see about making them revenants anyway. Song, now the real Song, instantly flashes their hand into a pocket, pulling out some kind of concoction and chugging it with one hand as they whip out a knife and hold it to my throat with the other. Let me through, they demand. I recoil a bit at the knife, but try to keep my cool. I'm the one that saved you, I say as calmly as I can. I need your help to save the others. They glower, keeping the knife still. I am very careful not to let it so much as touch me, considering who's holding it. How? Song asks. Lucky talent, I answer. I'm pretty much Inora's worst nightmare. Penta wiggles, apparently considering that the understatement of a century. At least she's not sassing me verbally when we have a poisoned knife to our throat. Speaking of, Song withdraws their blade a bit, storing it and giving me a considering stare. Despite the wrinkles around their eyes and partially graying hair, they hold themselves with the poise of a much younger person. Remus is absurdly powerful, and though it does little to hold him back, it's clear he feels the aches and pains that come with age. Song's movements have none of that unwanted stiffness, and I could almost believe they were closer to my age than Remus's. The only part of them that seems like it's affected by old wounds is their voice. Let's say I believe you, they hiss. If what you say is true, what do you need me for? Remus and Theodora, I answer. Those Nora are too old and too strong. I can't get through their magic resistance. So, I convinced Tilly Slime to make a feast for everyone. I was thinking you could help her add a few spices? Song snorts, what I could see of their face crinkling in amusement. The rest of their body is still tense as a coiled spring, though, as if each muscle was still reeling over the fact that it could tense at all. Can't cook most of what I carry. Can brew a drink, but don't have enough of the non-deadly tar human stuff. Are poison monsters, not people. I feel outward with my senses, locating Penelope and Theodora. Penelope, on point as usual, seemed to have the other woman engrossed in conversation and facing the other way. I pull out the Everfull, showing it to Song. Well, I need you to do both. This is full of Nora poison. All you could ever need. If we pour from it, though, Theodora will notice. That's a conundrum. But target this in Thar first place. You're backed by Skyhope after all, eh? Yep. And the others still think I'm one of them, which is how I plan to keep it. Anywhere safe I can pour this for you? That's tough. To know. No mage. Shit. Okay. I'll go talk to Penelope, then. She's also clean. Song nods. Melik, however, looks utterly flabbergasted. Wait. He protests. That's it? You just walked in and fixed them? No way. You were just with my mom, and you said, "We'll get your mom when we get the others," I say, cutting him off. She'll be fine another day. She should be fine right now. Melik, do not. Oi, Song butts in, holding out a vial to me. Drink this. A glance at it, then back up at them. No? It'll immunize you from the slimy bastards for a couple days. Last of our stuff I have. Drink. I scowl. Couldn't things ever be easy? Thankfully, I have a good excuse. I can protect myself from Nora. Give it to Melik. Song shrugs, handing the kid the poison. Melik gratefully drinks it, then tries very hard not to retch. So are you going to be okay, Song? I ask. We'll need you to keep pretending to be a slime in control of your own body. Don't worry about me, Song hisses. Thar damn slimes are gonna pay for thinking they can take my village. Okay. Just. Please don't do anything crazy without telling me. We're on a time limit, and if slimes try to run it'll get messy. Song tilts their head, giving me a considering glare. For someone even smaller than I am, you sure are bossy. Question for you. That thing controlling Remus talked a lot about your plague mage biomancer friend. Why use poison at all if you have someone like her? I glare back up at them. Her magic takes a while to get going, I half lie. This is the better way. Just trust us, please. Don't make me regret freeing you early. Song snorts. Girl, you're way too young to make a face like that. My tendrils twist and curl as I hold down a bout of anger. I've been hearing that way too many times today. I just saved your ass, I shoot back. Quit looking down on me and show some damn gratitude. Song lets out a hissing chuckle, nodding. In my defense, I don't get to look down on many people. But your point is taken. It just makes me sad to see, is all. You got an unlucky talent, and now you're forced to kill people at your age. It's our failure of the whole country, to let shit like that happen. Well, I grumble, we can agree that Vulca is a failure. That's neither here nor there, though. Your slime is dead and we have the rest of them to kill next. I'll go grab Penelope, and we'll work something out. Poor bastards, Song growls, voice low. I wanna get my hands around the neck of whatever motherfucker made those things. Penta perks up, snapping into control. Made? You think Nora are artificial? I believe so. That or not from Thar Island originally. Or both, I suppose. But Thar way they work. It don't make a lot of sense. They don't need half their instincts if they're possessing monsters and dogs. I'd bet my ass they're a fucking bioweapon, made for infiltrating human colonies. Penta swallows, her horror making my heart race. A sapient bioweapon. Yup, Song hisses. They're too perfect at that for it to be chance. Makes my fucking blood boil. They're damn children, you know? Scared, confused little bastard mine was. But we still gotta kill 'em all. Do we? Penta almost begged. If they can be reasoned with, then? Nah. Reproduce too fast. Even if you have one or two reasonable ones, a single bad apple and they'll fuck it for everyone. Sa mercy to end it, as disgusting as that is. Sweet, I wanna gut the fucker that made 'em. Doomed their own kids from the damn start. Doomed from the start, Penta repeats quietly. Maybe so. In that case, I wouldn't mind helping with the gutting, if you figure out who did it. Song shrugs. I'll let you know, but I doubt I'll run into him just like that. Sa dream, nothing more. Now, we gotta save the others, yeah? Yeah, Penta agrees, barely whispering. She gives control back to me, and I nod. I'll be back, I promise. Song, can you take care of Melik? Hey. Melik protests. I don't need taken care of. I just keep looking at Song. Please. I ask flatly. They chuckle. Yeah. Don't worry Melik, I ain't your nanny. I got shit for you to help with. Follow me. I head out as they move deeper into Song's house, thoughts racing. Their theory makes sense, Penta whispers to me. I hate it, but it makes a lot of sense. Nothing in our biology is wasted or redundant, and nothing is similar to any creature I'm familiar with. It almost seems as though we're missing the bits that would allow us to survive independently. When you look at it that way, we're almost certainly artificially created life. How the heck does someone create life? Well, usually they have sex, Penta answers, deadpanning. Ha ha. I mean artificial life. Well, I'm no expert, but I would suspect you need at least a biomancer for the body, and an animancer, I finish. For the soul. Would that be necromancy or cognomancy? Taking something dead and making it alive? I can only assume, but I would say that's the logical conclusion of both disciplines, used in tandem. The mark of a true master of animancy. Well, that's one way to get you a better body, I guess. Penta blinks. You can't be serious, she murmurs, dumbfounded. As usual, you know exactly how serious I am. It's what you want, right? A body of your own? You know biomancy, I know animancy. Let's figure it out. For a moment, I feel tears start to well up in my eyes before Penta drops control of my body, shivering to herself in the base of my skull. I wipe away the bits of water before we head anywhere they might be noticed, smiling to myself. Slowly, as non-threateningly as possible, I reach soul tendrils up around her, not making contact. I get why it freaks her out to be touched by them, what with our rocky start and all. But this is what you're supposed to do when a friend cries, right? Be it in pain or joy. Penta's little soul cilia slowly, haltingly, stretch my way as she moves them for the first time. I take that for the invitation it is, and wrap her up with mine. Finally, for the first time, I hug my friend.